Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. This is our Beast Tamer Bard build, episode 190, and we are continuing to explore the lower city of Elushinira. Been hitting the spots, seeing the sights. New patch, who dis? So, anyone who's watching this on YouTube can see basically like exactly when I'm playing, because you can see this is the Enhanced Edition patch. So the companion bars have been added in. So no longer do we have to scroll to the side for our companion access. Instead, we click on these little bars underneath the party members. Ooh. My headset on backwards? Yeah, my headset's on backwards. How strange. So yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat. There's a bunch of other changes, but I'm not patch notes, so I'm not gonna go through that. We'll just see as they crop up, kind of like what happens with us. Anyways, we're gonna head down south here and see if we can't.
Beautiful.
Explore and see what's what. Rumor has it you convinced Minago to betray Baphomet, and now she is plotting against her former allies. You're a cunning one, aren't you? The guard takes a close look at Arushale and flashes an interested grin. Your face is familiar. Have we met before? Hey, how's it going, Meritanapa? How are you doing? Suddenly recognition dawns on him. Arushale, is that you? They said you defected to the Crusaders, but I always said a rabid bitch like you would never deal with goody-goody mortal scum. Welcome home. Elushinira's missed you in your wild escapades. Yeah, that's a little rough. Arushale purses her lips and turns away, not deigning to answer. We are in the abyss, in fairness. Her face grows deathly pale, and there is despair in her eyes. I want to know more about the city. You're alright? Put the daughter to bed and fell asleep yourself. Woke up now, 2:30 a.m.? Oof, 2:30 a.m. Ah, well, I hope either if that is your normal waking time, that you have a good day, or if that is not your normal waking time, you're able to get some good sleep. I'm pretty tired myself. I've had a pretty long day. So I'm probably going to be relatively low energy, but hopefully it'll be a nice, chill stream. Fingers crossed. You had to prepare for tomorrow. You'll be going to bed at it. Gotcha. There you go. Ah, fair enough. These outsiders. Nocticula commanded the guards to instruct our guests on local customs. We are a welcoming city and happy to see you, scum. I mean, happy to meet you, exotic travelers. Anyway, here's a quick guide that will keep you alive in Elushinira. At all times, no matter what, you need to remember 4 things. Who rules the land beneath your feet, what they have forbidden you to do, who you can draw your weapon against, and who you want to avoid offending at all costs. Seriously, you're better off impaling yourself on your own blade than going toe-to-toe with some of the denizens of this place. You like catching me online? I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been seeing your comments. They're always appreciated. Otis, Botis! What are you doing? Are you getting distracted by Mama making balloon animals? He does not know how to react. Okay, who runs this city? Nocticula, who else? But she's busy sitting in her palace looking pretty and couldn't care less about our business here. That's why her sycophant... Is that a penguin? Aw, well, it looks pretty good.
Got a handle now.
Got a handle.
The penguin.
It's a penguin. Penguin.
For your collection.
The collection is growing. You're gonna have to find me somewhere to put things. Or else we're gonna start popping off. I don't have anywhere to put this. I don't like. I don't. The frog. Frog. Pretty nice. Good job. She made a frog earlier too. Casey, my fiance has been experimenting with balloon animals. So. That's why her sycophant Shamira, mistress of the harem of ardent dreams, has the final word in the city's affairs. It's not like she cares what's happening either. She just singles someone out, accuses them of some misdeed, and sends them to stew in a cauldron of boiling filth. There's no real rhyme or reason to her behavior. She just does it to keep everyone in line, and, well, it works. Though her power isn't unlimited, there are others in the city whose word carries a great deal of weight. Take Hepsamira, for example. She has a great deal of influence despite being new here, not to mention a demon born of Baphomet. The city is her playground. Shamira is the only one she treats as an equal. Stuck-up bitch. If I were you, I'd still steer clear of Baphomets. Scheming jerks, the lot of them. Lady Valexia in the upper city. She's like the leader of Alushanira's elite. She's always gentle, speaks softly, never rips out anyone's throats in the streets. All in all, I've never met a more sinister and grim creature in my life. Ermengaleth, the master of the Battle Bliss, also commands some authority. He's a psychopath even by local standards. This one time, he put on quite a show. He invited all the scum in the lower city to a free performance in the arena. Then he locked the gate and let loose a deep sea monster in the stands and announced it would cost 10 eyeballs per demon to leave. You know Burgaz? He used to have 4 eyes. Now he has 1. Such slaughter. It still makes me giddy with excitement. In the last stream, it felt like I couldn't decide how to pronounce Skaven. Yeah, I flip back and forth on that all the time. I think it's because I've never, from a media standpoint, right? From a linguistic standpoint, a lot of how I learned, and I think a lot of people learn to say things or pronounce things, is from watching media or just having conversations with those around them. You know, that's how dialects and things like that get formed. But my issue with things like a lot of fantasy things, in fact, right, is that there's not a lot of media for a lot of them out in the wider world. So there's not a lot of Warhammer fantasy movies or TV shows or things like that. And so I've kind of like fallen into this rhythm of guess pronunciation, you know? Hey, how's it going, Line? You thought Skaven was a long A as in stay? That's how it's pronounced in Skyrim by a character, Lua Alskaven. You like the pronunciation with the long A more because that's how you pronounce it yourself. See, and I'm always gonna be like that. Sure, sounds good, right? Like, I think my scenario is the other thing is if I use words frequently or if I have to use words frequently, I tend to just look them up. Right? Like, I'm like, oh shit, I been mispronouncing this word? Is something up with that? So I'll just go look it up and then I'll try to like get it in there. But Skaven versus Skaven is one of those things where it's like, I very rarely have to talk about the Ratmen, you know? So it hasn't been one of those things.
Ratman?
The Ratmen.
I'm gonna make a rat.
Make a rat.
No instructions.
I've already assumed that 3
Sorry.
things you've made are rats. I mean, you're halfway there.
Rat.
I know that, but I did guess rat on multiple things. I think you have more balloon than you need for a rat.
I figured out you can bite them off. Penguin with balloon. Well, you just bite them off. You twist and just bite.
Interesting. Very interesting. It's one of the races you hate most in fantasy battles, lore-wise? Lore-wise, okay, gotcha. I like, I mean, they're horrendous. They're just disgusting, horrendous creatures. but there's something that's always drawn me to the wild chaos of the Ratmen. Like, I honestly do. They are one of my favorite races in Warhammer Fantasy because they are so just. They're just crazy. They're insane, right? Like, they are wildly chaotic, and just absurd, you know? Among the succubi, Chivaro is in charge. She's an angry bitch, but she acts sweeter than the blood of a righteous man. Minago used to run the 10,000 Delights until Chivaro found her way in. Must be quite a weasel, that one. Yo, you got it to pig. Hell yeah. Lippin' dippin'. Come to think of it, this city's chock full of bosses. Anywhere you have two demons, one will always try to crush the other under its boot. It's not like anyone in Alushanira cares about laws, so we have almost none. Well, there are guards at the gate to keep riffraff out of the really nice places. Nocticula prohibits anyone from laying a finger on visitors from other planes. We're the trading hub of the Abyss, see? Everyone is welcome. Please, come again. Thank you very much. But don't unclench your bowels just yet. All of the above applies only to the real movers and shakers. Small fry are either eaten or enslaved. The slave cages are crammed full of extra planar guests. Unfortunate. You've seen me catching Pokemon in stream? Hell yeah, absolutely. It's just a fun little pastime. I think what I'd like to do is I want to start. Maybe I want to make like a channel point option for Pokemon battles, right? To like challenge me maybe like once a stream to a Pokemon battle or something like that. And I think I want to start doing things like on Saturdays when Jay and I stream together. I think I want to start by like either kicking things off with a Pokemon battle or like having a Pokemon battle on our break, like in the middle of the stream or something like that. So I just think that would be fun. I want to go through. The demon sucks his teeth and replies, his voice tinged with lazy menace. No can do. This quarter is where decent people live. When they want to dismember someone, they can go down to the lower city. We're standing here so they won't be bothered by riffraff that wants to dismember them. Believe me, you don't want to go there. The slave traders have magic collars that fasten themselves around the necks of chancers, such as yourself, and drag them straight to the cages. That's pretty cute. That's pretty cute. The little rat with a little tail.
I did it all on my own.
That's pretty cute. You're getting pretty good at this.
I'm really good balloon animal.
When are you gonna start? When are you gonna start doing balloon animals professionally? You found your calling, Mama. I'm only half joking, by the way. Like, you started making balloon animals yesterday, and there's like 20 balloon animals in my house now.
I know, and I've used like 3 tutorials.
Yeah, let's hit him with the out of my way, scum. Oh. Well, hell. Well, we don't want that to happen. We don't want to fail. I have to run over here and do that again. I need some caffeine. I actually have not been drinking as much caffeine here lately. I stopped. I used to be a very, very big Dr. Pepper drinker, but I stopped buying Dr. Pepper for the house. So now I only occasionally drink it. But that tends to mean that I get sleepy. Want to go through intimidate? Yeah. The demon seems to have shrunk and lost most of his bluster. I don't care what Nocticulus says. I'd rather live to see another day. Come on, hurry on through while I just happen to be looking the other direction. You used to be a huge Coke drinker? I feel ya. Like, I still, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still drink. I used to be really, really bad, like drinking multiple Dr. Peppers or sodas every single day. And then I kind of cut back to where I was like, I drink like one, right? Where like I'll drink it in the evenings. And then now, over the course of like the last month or so, I've just stopped buying them altogether. So I only get them when, yeah, like when I'm out at a restaurant or something like that, right? So it's yeah, it's taking some getting used to. So, but I mean, it's better for me in the long run, I'm sure. Oh, what happened to this guy? All right, guys, that's enough. I get it. It won't happen again. Just not my eyes, not my eyes. Move your hand, scum, or we'll break the other one too. I said move it. A group of demons laughing with glee is kicking a skinny babao curled up on the ground. Not your eyes? Fine. Then your belly. Have some of this. I don't know why I started playing. Oh, shit. Who is that? That's Ember? Oh, no. Ember, what are you doing? Making waves. What are you doing? Stop! You're hurting him. Ember dashes forward towards the demon laid out on the ground, shielding him from the blows. Stop! Why are you doing this to him? My god. The demons goggle at the girl. I'm just a mortal, weak and silly. Compared to you, I'm a mayfly. Ember can Nova all of these guys into the ground. Since you were 20-ish, you used to drink 1 to 2 liters of Coke per day until you were 32 or so when your daughter was born. Very similar scenario to me. I mean, mine wasn't prompted by a daughter or anything, but yeah, since I was, you know, or early 20s, right, like heavy soda drinking, and then early 30s, I was like, okay, kind of need to chill on this. One moment I'm here, the next I'm gone. But you'd better listen to what I tell you, because I've lived more than you have. Excuse me? I'm gonna support her. Listen to her carefully. This might be the most important thing you hear in your entire lives. Yeah, right. We've always dreamed of listening to what a charred piece of meat has to say. Oof. That's a burn, no pun intended. The demon draws close to the girl and looks her over with contempt. What's with all the riddles? What do you mean you've lived more than us? Okay. It's very simple. I haven't lived very long, but I have friends. Those I can protect. Those who are glad to see me. There are many sad things, but I still know what happiness is. But you? Beating, biting, fearing, hating each other? Are you really happy? And if you aren't, is this any kind of life? So yeah, I've lived a lot, but you've spent centuries and centuries without really living. Okay. That was kind of exactly what I come to expect out of Ember. Heartfelt truth that falls on deaf ears, basically. Oh. This mortal brat, this lump of meat is gonna preach to us? The demon gives a predatory sniff, bends down, and shows off his mouth filled with sharp teeth. You know what makes me happy? Gobbling up tasty pieces of meat like you. I mean, we are outside, but we can quote-unquote take this outside if we need to, my friend. Ember looks at him serenely. She reaches out and strokes his horned head with her burned palm. Poor thing. You're so hurt and scared all the time. You feel a bit better for a while when you torture others and forget about your suffering. But is that really happiness? The demon recoils from her touch. There is a combination of surprise and terror on his fearsome face. Are you crazy or something? The demons stand around Ember. Their faces show caution and rapacious interest. It is clear that they are slightly afraid of the strange girl who shows no fear, but at the same time they see no obvious threat. I have a dinosaur? Yeah, I have a dinosaur. Yep, this is Bismuth. Actually, I have 2 dinosaurs, because this is Odysseus the raptor. So, yeah, we got dinosaurs. Okay, what do we want? I think we're probably gonna go good because we don't have a chaotic option. Ember, this demon is wounded. Words are all well and good, but let's help him. Oh, you're right. How embarrassing. There. Ember whispers a spell, and the demon's wounds heal. Cure serious wounds? Hot damn. The Babao jumps up and runs away from Ember and the demons who were beating him. Screw you! I owe you nothing! That's to be expected from a demon. Of course you don't. Ember smiles serenely. I helped you for no reason, just because I wanted to. I hope you'll be alright. Ha! For no reason? You're stupid. No one does anything without a reason. I do think that that's actually kind of interesting coming from demons, because they are chaotic. I mean, doing things without reason is quite commonly a thing for them. They do things because they just have a whim, you know? She's a witch. Probably wants to sell us something. Some magic potions or herbs. Come on, show us. What do you have? They're so freaked out by her. It's hilarious. If you're good, you probably do it for your own gratification. Yeah, I think in a real world scenario, yeah. In real life, absolutely. People, you know, there are selfless people out there, but still, an act of doing good for someone can be very selfish because you want to make yourself feel good by doing good, you know? And that's not necessarily a negative thing. It's just you have to be cognizant of it, you know? I'm not selling anything. Oh, did you pop one? Oh no. Oh. Oh. Ooh, that almost looks like the front of it almost looks like a corgi. The front of it almost looked like a corgi. You know? I just wanted to tell you how much you're missing. I mean, you're free. Freer than anyone in the world, but you use this freedom to make life miserable for yourself and everyone else. Just think of how much happier you could be. You think it's very positive? We're social species and that's how we have to survive? Yeah, or absolutely. Or have survived, rather. Yes, 100% agreed. Right? It's the positive feedback loop, right? Like, by doing good, we feel good. That, you know, doing good promotes the success of the species, rinse, repeat, right? Ember keeps preaching. The demons listen, occasionally interrupting with laughter and obscene jokes. Finally, they grow bored and walk away. You're back there popping shit. Did you get got? Yeah. Oh no. Careful. You gotta be cautious, mama. Yeah. You need some earplugs to protect yourself? Alright. They left. Do you think they understood anything? Yeah, I'm gonna hit her with that good. If anyone in the world can convince a demon to repent, it's you. Thank you, but it's not about me. There is kindness in every creature, even in demons. They just forgot about it for some reason. Right. You know, I was thinking, I tried sending prayers to the demon lords, and I tried talking to demons in the street, but one of the demon lords lives right here in this city. Nocticula, right? What if I try to talk to her? Not through prayer, but in person. You're going to meet her sooner or later, aren't you? Please take me with you. I'm sure if we meet face to face, like you and I are talking right now, I'll be able to convince her to stop being so mean. You'll take me to her, promise? God, yes, that's definitely gonna happen. Oh, but I don't know how successful you're gonna be there, Ember. My goodness. The alignment thing in D&D and Pathfinder makes things odd. I agree, right? Like, I've never been a super big fan in alignment itself. It serves a purpose, right? And as long as people don't get, like, lean into it too hard, I think it's perfectly fine. But I think it gets overplayed quite a bit, right? Because generalizing things like that too much leads to issues, right? It leads to pigeonholing certain concepts and then, you know, backing yourself into a corner on character creation or writing or things like that. And then if you do have a game that's like leans very into the, you know, alignment system, you've got to toe that line of what you can, like with the demons. I'm like, oh, that's weird for demons to not be chaotic, right? You know? Ultimately, if this wasn't a heavy alignment focus, then that wouldn't even be a question. What do we got here?
Truly sorry.
Oh, motherfucker. See, that's why I say saved, though, because the thing, I'm not a big fan of these types of checks, right? Because I just kind of want to know what the lore is. Hey, congrats on your Stonejourner. Stonejourner? Stonejourner? I think it's Stonge. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even remember what a Stonejourner is. I've got to look it up now. Because now I'm fucking... Oh, yeah, It's a stone Pokemon. Cool. Never been a huge fan of the D&D game. It seems in some ways very basic. Yeah, so I mean, it's you know, I think it's very dependent on people's tastes, right? And what they're kind of interested in. I've always been a fan of D&D because of mostly the setting, right? Like, I think I'm a very big, like, fantasy buff, right? So D&D just has such a good generic setting for me to build in, and the systems are popular and easy for people to learn, so I can always find people to play with. So that's probably the reason why I've enjoyed D&D for most of my life. But it is, you know, there are, I think, better things out there for more specific things, right? Like, if you're looking for a specific style of game, you can tend to find a better system to play it.
I'm all done here.
The symbols inscribed on the wall belong to the language of the Titans, first creations of the gods, and themselves the creators of the sinister Dimidans. That said, you do follow a few of Koivus games, because he fleshes things out a lot. That's cool. What we got over here? Athletics to climb up to the rooftop. Well, Ember's already there, yo. Well, that didn't work. Questionable. He does a lot of D&D on Twitch. It's not someone that I'm familiar with off the top of my head. I don't think so, anyways. I say that, actually, I do recognize his face. So I've definitely seen him do stuff before.
It really should come up more often.
Yeah, I am not familiar with him, like super familiar with him. Oh yeah, all the save scumming in this game, 100%. All of the saves coming. So hold up. A DC 32 athletics check should not be difficult for us. Who was making the check? Yeah, okay. We have a plus 27. We just rolled poorly. And the second time should not have happened. Okay. Seriously? We've rolled a 2 and a 3.
Beautiful.
There we go. Oy. Rolf.
I finished here. Is there
Okay,
more?
what do we got here? We have a librarian's cloak. This cloak grants its wearer a plus 10 competence bonus on use magic device skill checks. It also increases the effective caster level by 4 when using scrolls. That is absolutely a Ninio cloak. Or if I decide to go super ham, because I haven't really gone very ham on her class, honestly. Her scroll savant, because I just haven't felt like I've needed to. But I honestly could, and probably should.
You require my unbiased
What
opinion?
is she wearing? Cloak of resistance plus 3. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the thing is, she already has a plus 30, right? Like, I don't know that she actually needs the plus 10. It's the plus 4 character level scenario, I think. I'm not going to put it on yet. I can't put it, like, in her bar or anything like that. I wish I could put it, like, in... I kind of wish... individual characters had their own inventories that I could just throw items into, so that I could remember them for later. Ooh. It looks like these rooftops can be used to bypass the guards and get to the streets above. Interesting. So, just a side way in. If you can't intimidate past here, you can athletics your way up this direction. Kind of cool. Otis Debotis, how's it going? The times you've played D&D, it's felt like an engine to play an advanced figurine game more than advanced role-playing game, with fixed HP, the whole armor system, and alignments to name some. Yeah, that's fair. I definitely think it's dependent on the situation, right? Like, I think every table is going to have a different game, and I think that's one of the core strengths of D&D.
Let's see what we can
But
do.
also, like, you know, different people are going to play in different styles. Different dungeon masters are going to run in different styles. So I do a pretty...
Better doggy. Perfected.
Is a doggy.
We got lots of doggies.
We got so many doggies.
They're all different dogs.
They are different dogs. Be good. I don't want to put it on them because they'll pop it. Yeah, there we go.
Let me help.
I'm gonna need to heal. Fine. Okay. Much of it's how the DM does it, as well as how good the players are at playing their characters. Yeah, but it's also a scenario. It's kind of like board games, right? So like, if you take Warhammer, because we were talking about that earlier. If you take Warhammer as a good example, comparing something like actual Warhammer Fantasy, right? Old school, like I say old school, like 8th edition or something like that, versus like Age of Sigmar, right? They have the same, or they're of the same kind of like world, but they play in very, very different ways. And that's kind of like how D&D can be, right? Like, you can have 2 games in 5e that use the same lingo, that have a lot of the same systems, that a lot of the same math applies to, etc., but they feel like very, very different games. And both games can be perfectly valid. Obviously, people are going to have a preference for one, right? Like, some people are going to like one, some people are going to like the other, but both games are going to be perfectly valid. And, you know, that's fine. So, it's that situation of like, I do think it's a little corny, but I do also actually believe that they're in the concept of like, there is a game out there for anyone, right? From a tabletop roleplay perspective, there's a game, whether it's D&D or not, there's a game out there for everyone. Do I prefer 5e or 3.5 or some other? It depends on what I'm trying to accomplish, right? I like a lot of different things about 3.5, about 5th edition. I actually like a lot of things about 4th edition. And it kind of just depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. Like, if I wanted to just play like a battle, you're not hindering the game. I mean, people who are watching for just the game are probably like, you're hindering the game, but I don't care. I'm here to chat with people and do whatever. The game I'm playing is, you know, as an aside. Oh! What just happened? Oh. I did not mean to do that. Oh no. Oh. He's drugged up. He's drugged up, and that's real bad. Okay, let's pop him. We got plus 14, plus 11. Didn't get him. Didn't get him. Damn, he just rolled well both times. Rolled a 19 and then rolled a 17. Unfortunate. We had a pretty decent chance on that one. Okay. Let's do... So yeah, on what do I actually prefer, it kind of just really depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. Most of the time I say most of the time, the vast majority of the time I play 5th edition, because that's the group that I'm playing, that's what they play. So it's like, okay, that's what we're gonna play then. But I really like a lot of things about several different editions, and many other games actually, so. How's it going, Woods? How are you doing? I'm gonna move in here and then swing.
The light will take you.
Hell yeah. Having fun tonight? This city, so we're in the lower city of Alushanira, which is like the hub of the Abyss. And I'm very, very, very interested in what's going on here. So yeah, I'm having a pretty good time.
I will resist.
Is that Otis boy getting kisses? He always sleeping. We have been kind of messing with him a bunch today. In his defense. Ooh. Gotta get the Pokemon. You got open? Right. Well, I love you. Mostly used to playing a Swedish role-playing game called Dragons and Daemons, and the one who is the DM is really good. Hey, that's awesome. Well, now I'm really intrigued, right? Like Dragons and Daemons, I'm like, okay, that does not. Let's go. Like, I'm down. Ah, fuck.
Be gone, fiend!
Bismuth is not exactly a powerhouse for us, unfortunately. We're just gonna put this guy down.
Here we go again.
Okay, so no issue for us fighting these undead in the these demons in the street. Shock composite longbow, Deadeye. What? Okay. Composite longbow, +4 axiomatic composite longbow, lands the first hit in a round against an enemy more than 30 feet away. The enemy suffers a -2 penalty to AC for 2 rounds. That's not bad. Yo, congrats on the Elgium. +4 is nice. Axiomatic is makes the weapon law-aligned and thus bypass the corresponding damage reduction. It deals an extra 2d6 points of damage against chaotic creatures. That is probably the best bow that we have that we could put on Arushale right now. She's using the Hunter's Assurance right now, which is okay. We absolutely should spec her back over to longbows and put that bow on her. From the 82, it's from 82 in the original version, then an expert version came out in 85. Wow. Okay, so that's like from a back in the day kind of a thing. That's interesting. I think the oldest thing that I've tried to play is probably I tried to play 2nd edition once, or Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I guess, is the more apt name. And it was just like I barely even remember it because it was one of those scenarios of like it took us so long to read the rule book and make characters that was really more of what we were doing than actually playing the game. I remember it fondly because like while we were doing that, we were really like role playing with each other and talking about, you know, all the ideas that we were gonna, you know, do and etc. etc. So it was a fun time. It just we didn't actually play the game, so I don't really count it as legitimate experience with advanced D&D.
All right.
The signs on the wall indicate that a drug merchant can be found here. In the Abyss, there are many poisons that can plunge mortals and even demons into nightmares. Interesting. Scary. And be an alchemist.
I can handle it.
You're a good person. I like you.
No? That seems very interesting to me. We can't
make the demons wait.
make that jump. Bad Luck Tavern, experiencing the bliss.
Beautiful.
Okay. We're gonna head back over here.
I sense something.
Who, what, when, where, why. But that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I really kind of wish, like, I wish there was an opportunity for you to, like, click on something. Like, when you spot it, if you could click on it, because, like, you can't always... I can't see. Like, my character has found something, but I don't assume that it's this. Found a trap somewhere, but I don't know what it is. Armor is much more about absorption instead of a 2-hit. You roll versus your ability level and a certain weapon to hit. Okay. We're gonna head into the Bad Luck Tavern because there is apparently a quest marker in here. Red Mask. You think the wildest thing about the game is if you roll a 1, you have a chance to roll a perfect crit, and if you roll 2 to 5, you have a chance to roll a special half crit. If you roll a 20, you have a chance to fumble. Wildest from a D&D perspective. Oh, so it's like a reverse, right? So like low is better, high is worse type scenario. And there's ranges of potential successes. I think a lot of dice opportunities or dice games that have ranges or, you know, like the D20 system is it can, you know, it can bear a lot of load. It does a lot of things right and is pretty solid, right? But it can get stale after a while. A lot of systems that I've been messing around with recently are systems that utilize ranges or different dice other than the D20 for their primary rolling, you know, that type of thing. And they tend to have less like granular, like different stages of success, basically, or failure. I'm gonna talk to this Red Mask person because they were not in here when we were in there later. Lost. I'm not looking for drinking companions. Interesting. Well, that didn't do it for us. What about Malara? Nope. What about Burgaz? Oh, Burgaz.
Let's see what we can do.
Huh. Well then. Oh, a familiar face. Whoops. I just went right past this person. This halfling, with his horribly burned face and crimson whiteless eyes, looks strangely familiar. After a moment's recollection, you remember his features. This is the sobbing man who stumbled into a nest of Vescavores and lost his sight as a result. Luckily for him, you arrived just in time to pull him out of that ditch, only for him to end up in an even more dangerous and sinister place. I'm gonna ask who is he? The halfling scans you suspiciously with his terrifying red eyes. He speaks in a silken voice, while his hand carefully hides under his clothes where undoubtedly a weapon is hidden. The name's Sam Crow, and just who are you? You recognize me? I saved you from those Vescivores. For a few seconds, the halfling is silent, stunned, and then exclaims in excitement. From one eerie eye, a single bloody tear appears, out of sheer emotion, perhaps. Wow. I thought your voice was familiar, but for the life of me, I just couldn't remember where I'd heard it. So it was you. What a surprise. What a joy. I thought I was a goner, and then you grabbed me by my skivvies and snatched me out of the claws of death. I never had the chance to repay you. When I came to, I looked around, and there were crusaders everywhere. My first thought was that they got me. They'd caught up to me, those pious dogs. I hadn't noticed that I was unbound and unguarded until later, when I took off running. Oh, this guy is not a good guy, huh? I wasn't right in the head, you see. I had a nasty fever, and I didn't even get the chance to meet my savior. But not this time. I'm not going anywhere. Here, take it. This is for old Sam Crow, the scoundrel, who still lives and breathes instead of lying dead in that blasted canyon. The Ashmaker. Gotcha. You have a skill level of 16, expert-ish, in any skill, almost literally anything. You have to roll 16 or below to succeed. If you don't have any negative modifiers, but 17 and above is a fail. That's almost kind of like our rogue in our Wednesday campaigns, Bones. He's got... he basically, on a D20, he can basically take 10 on anything. So he's got a very, very high chance of succeeding on a lot of stuff. That's always fun. I enjoy skill builds, right? A lot in games. I enjoy kind of just being that skilled individual. Oof. How'd you end up in that crevice? As soon as those crusaders started mopping up our forces in Canabras, I knew it was time to split. Them Eagle Watch interrogators snooping around everywhere, asking questions. Just how did Baphomet cultists get into the city with such ease before the attack? You know, half our agents are scholars, not spies. Catch one and he'll rat out the rest. So I was out of there in an instant and on my way back to my mates. I wish I could have found a proper guide, though, so I wouldn't have fallen into that Vescivore nest. Yeah. What's wrong with your eyes? I thought I healed you. The halfling grunts grimly. The Vescivores left some crap behind. Some kind of acidic slime, or maybe those wretches laid their eggs, I don't know. Whatever it was, on the 7th day my left eye went dim, and on the 9th some sort of shadow spawned in my right one. Kept wriggling in there. A healer in the battle bliss cut out my old eyes and sewed these in instead. Now I can see in pitch darkness and tell differences in temperature and do a bunch of other stuff. A master of his craft, that healer was. Ruthless, though. Why were you scared of the Crusaders? I wonder. As I was legging it away from Canabras, I just couldn't shake the image of the gallows they'd hang me from for treason and all that. You wouldn't believe all the stunts I pulled off. I smuggled Lady Menago's letters into the city, hid cultists under the guise of Merchant's Guard in my own home, brought Faxon into the Tower of Estrad, did some research in the Blackwing Library for Lord Xanthier. Who showed the demons where the Crusader barracks were on the first night? Me. They were all cut down, unarmored, and half asleep. When the resistance gathered at the Defender's Heart, who was it that found out and told the demons about it? Me again. The whole thing hinged on messengers and spies like me. That's why the Crusaders would have gladly hung me if I were caught. They still will. You scum! So many good folk died because of filth like you. Tila clenches her fist, her eyes burning with rage. Hey, she lost it or something? Get this lunatic away from me. She'll hurt me. Oh no, you'll get hurt? You be off to bed? Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to have someone to chat to. Or chat with. Ooh, Otis. Oh, he's so sleepy. You get the pets. Get lip on the pets too. Them sleepy kitties. Oh, gotta get a Pokemon. Why work for the demons? All for wizardly knowledge. I've always been curious to a fault. How do you see how many Pokemon you have? If you go down below the stream, there should be a little widget, right? That's the Pokemon mod widget. And in that, you'll have your Pokemon, and you'll have a bag where you can see your Pokeballs, and you can buy new ones, and you'll have, once you get 6 Pokemon, you can battle with other people. So it should just be right down below the stream. Or maybe a little ways down below the stream, but it should be on this page. You might have to reload if it's not there. But yeah. Awesome. Always been curious to a fault, especially when it comes to magic. Once I was allowed wizard books, there was no stopping me. So I met a guy who let me read a whole bunch of banned books. It wasn't until later that I found out that he was an apprentice of Xanther the Plagued One himself. Now that one knows a lot. So I asked to be the Plagued One's apprentice too. That's how I chose my side. Well, guess what? I killed him. A level 9 Stonehenge. Hell yeah. What are you doing in the Abyss? Man, you are popping off tonight with the catching. You're catching all of them. Hell yeah. Nice. Thanks for the sub, Woods. It's always appreciated. Thank you very much for your prime. It's probably good that you're leaving then. Leave while you're ahead? Absolutely. Leave while you're hot. The halfling gives you a sly smile, which looks rather creepy with his red eyes. Same thing you are. Hiding. You're one of us Baphomet agents too, right? Why else would you hole up in this dump with me instead of fighting over on Golarion? I have a keen eye. I can spot a fellow cultist from a mile away. Take care now, and remember, this is no Golarion. Things are rougher here. I kind of want to just kill that guy, but... yeah. Oh. Thank you very much. Oh, we can all catch the... there are multiples of the same one, right? So anyone or one Pokemon can get caught by a whole bunch of different people. And thank you very, very much for the sub. I appreciate it. Subs are always welcome, though not required. But it's just a nice thing to have people feel like I'm subworthy. So thanks for it. I appreciate it. All right. What was I looking for? The Ashmaker. We just got this bow, and we just got a second bow, right? Like the other bow right before this. So date newest to oldest. Oh, Ashmaker is not a bow. It's a quarterstaff. I thought it was a bow. Oh, no. Is this going to be a new quarterstaff for, like, Ember? Ooh. Flaming Burst, Flaming, Enhancement 4, Monk Weapon. I think this is just a Monk Weapon. It's a really cool Monk Weapon. Oh, yeah. Yoy. Otis Botis. Okay, so we have a Flaming Burst, Flaming, Enhancement +4. So that's cool, but not something that we're probably going to utilize. Because we don't really have a staff wielder, like a quarter staff wielder. We had on our quest... Cats are the stars of the show, so they get all the good stuff. Absolutely. What's going on? What was... Bad Luck Tavern. Experiencing Bliss. Very confused. Oh, I wonder if we rest here for the night, if we get sold into the tavern or into the arena. I bet that's what happens. honestly. Like, I'm almost positive. Like, that is so quintessentially, like that's so, demons kind of like style. I think we're gonna rest, or we're gonna save, and we're gonna end this episode. So, if you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're gonna keep playing. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time for more Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous. But bye, everybody.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.